All right, so I am pulling in the driveway. Got a night to myself. I think I'm gonna turn some wrenches or do something on the Malibu here. And what the? Nobody's home, so there's a Subaru in my yard here. What the hell's going on? What the hell's in the shop? You again? I thought I got rid of you the last time.
No, this is my garage. Not yet. My lift.
Well, what are you doing now? You surely can't be doing the same thing you did before.
I'm just reversing the same thing I did before.
Well, I guess that explains that.
1-800-JOEY.
If you haven't figured it out, that's Zach. His channel, Jack Wagon Garage. That's Brandon. He just is in Zach's backgrounds all the time. You get Zach, you get Brandon. So.
I'm just here essentially.
But all fun and games. We are going to actually turn some wrenches on the Malibu here. Well, as much as we can do with wrench turning, I guess. I don't necessarily know, but I'm going to go grab the CB out of the other garage and see, one, if it works, and two, if I have to make any sort of modifications to put it in place of the ashtray there. So we'll do that tonight, or hopefully do that tonight, I guess. And they're just going to be over there. All right, well, we got the old CB out of the storage parts garage over there. And got her rigged up on a battery here. See if I can do this one-handed here.
I believe in you, Joey.
There's a cameraman there to spare, but...
You know what? Yeah, how about I just do that?
Hey, you still like cameraman?
Look at here. I'll be cameraman. Don't worry. I got this.
Now that I did it with one hand.
Yeah. After you already did what you were trying to do.
All right, so on, cool. Leftover garbage works. I had an '89 K5 Blazer like 4 or 5 years ago. Before I sold it, I literally ripped this out from under the dash, so I'm glad to see that it actually works. The reason why I kept it was because of this right here. It's got a PA system on it. And free parts are much better than ones you have to buy, so I'm gonna go with that.
Free is always the best.
Especially when you're putting them in that. Luckily, supposedly, every single one of these cars has 12 volts in the cigarette lighter, or this ashtray area, because they had a light. Well, if I'm getting rid of the ashtray, I should still have a nice 12 volts that I can plug this baby right into. And you saw me run the actual antenna wire already, so that plugs right in. once I route it through the dash and hide the wiring. Then it's just a matter of running the CB wiring, or the PA wiring, under the hood. Alright, before I glue the piece back on here, I'm going to solder some wires onto there to make it longer, just so I don't lose them. And then I can have this gluing while I'm working on this, or drying rather. I did test this off the camera there, and it did work, at least for now, so got that going for me. Alright, not that you saw it because of my lovely camera angles, I do have the speaker now setting. Zach found a ladder.
Ladder. I go height.
It's just like you need more height. But yeah, we're going to let that sit and hopefully it fixes itself, because I was an idiot when I literally ripped it out of the truck. Now we get to see what it takes to remove an ashtray from an 82 Chevy Malibu. Well, my phone died halfway through recording that, but I did get the mount out for the ashtray here. And this might make G-body guys cry or purists cry, but I don't want it, so scrap in.
How dare you!
Alright, well, where we left off with this, I don't exactly remember. As I worked on a different project tonight that you will see either in before this video or after this video. You'll know if you watch my stuff that the whatever, you'll see it in the background here. But where we left off with this is the ashtray out of the Malibu, or at least the bracket from it. Do this before it freaks out on me again. But get the thing to balance. There. This is the mount for the ashtray here, and it bolts into the car with these 3 holes. And the goal here is to cut this down and resize it, add to it, delete from it, you know. And it's going to get, obviously, like I said, slimmed down. But it's going to make a bracket onto the CB here, whether I use the aluminum mounts that somebody has provided. Probably won't, but I want this to tuck right up to the dash. And I think I'm just going to use this bracket to remount it to the dash. The speaker's on the bottom, so I can get this all the way up tight to the bottom of the dash as much as I'd like to. So that's the goal for at least that. I won't be working on this anymore tonight, but just a quick update on it. But you did see on the last, what was it, last night, I JB welded the actual bracket for the speaker, the PA speaker, back on there. and my lovely wiring job on there. But it must have shifted at least some point when it was in the vise drying over there. So it's not by any means straight, but I think it'll still work. So I'm going to put, while this is still not fully cured, I mean it might be, I don't rightly remember how JB Weld works, but I'm going to do another layer quick on top of that while I'm still out here tonight in the garage. Like I say, it's getting pretty late. It's like almost 11:30. Just finishing up something else. Well, that one, not this one, but that one. And I just figured, well, I should glue this up quick while I have while I'm still out here. So that way it's dry again by tomorrow. Alrighty, we have that gooped back up, or gooped up I should say, and that's basically going to call it for tonight on that. Would have liked to have done a little bit more on that, but whatever. I think it was more important to get them done. Not that you're going to see that in this video, but in a video of mine you will see that. Because I had scales all over the bench, so I'm glad it's done. Alrighty, we are on the CB mount once again. I forget where I left off, besides telling you my master plan here, and we are initiating now. So the old ashtray mount, it's not a thing anymore. Got the plate that bolts up to the dash. You know, was part of that. Now it's not. I figure we'll put, I don't know exactly where yet, but got it cut out to the point where I can make a bracket that bolts to the brackets homeboy had made for the CB. I figure I'll drill a hole in between these two holes to remount them to the CB itself, and then I'll make a bracket probably more like that goes across, or even I thought about just making tabs out of the pieces from this that I can just weld back to this. That'll bolt to here. We got the bracket on there, not where it really belongs, but you know, I can make a bracket out of this and weld it back to this. That'll hold the CB in, you know. And it'll be something like that. It should work just fine. I mean, it's not like we're building some mastery part of machinery. It's just a box that's got to hang under the dash. So I kind of like that idea. Maybe I'll roll with that, because I can cut this piece here and I can weld it up in there, assuming that's where it wants to sit in the car. I haven't really looked into that yet, but maybe that's where we'll go with that here in a second. Well, I had to change plans a couple times there. We actually went away from the trying to make a bracket because I think it wouldn't have gave me the look that I wanted. So I did end up just drilling some holes in the dash there and mounting it that way. I would have liked to have moved it backwards to actually get it more flush with the actual radio there, but wouldn't you know it, there's a big ass hole under the under the dash there where that factory wiring for the cigarette lighter or the ashtray light would have come through. So I either have to go really far back or really forward like I got it. And I don't necessarily mind the way it looks there. Plus it gives me more than enough room to do some wiring in the back side there. Running over to the other side here. And you can see I grabbed the actual antenna wire there and I didn't thread it in, but I just kind of plugged it in just to get me kind of an idea. And I mean, yeah, it kind of sucks that I gotta hide all this wiring, but I don't necessarily want to cut this because this is the main one for the CB. So I'll just kind of loop it up and put it up in the dash. I think that's going to be a tomorrow thing though, because then I'll do all this, like this is power and ground. You say I want to make sure that the light back here, right there, has there's not like a switch or anything on it. And I want to make sure it's got constant power, because then I'll just use the switch on the front of this thing here as my on and off. And then we'll all be set with that. Besides running the PA wiring, but I gotta figure out how to get that through the firewall before anything else. Maybe the next part of this video will be removing that panel there, removing that panel there, maybe the cluster. So I think I'm going to put some switches there, do stuff there, and maybe on that side there. I don't really remember what I had in mind, but we'll start hiding some wiring up in there. I gotta see if I can, actually no, I'm gonna use that. Never mind, put that plan, but we, while we're in there, we'll probably terminate these wires here. Finish that wiring up as well. That'll be a cool feature that I've been trying to kind of hide it, but I've actually said what it is. If you pay attention, you know what it is. But I'd like to finish that wiring up too, and then I can get the last interior panel in. And well, I should be able to vacuum it, but I'm pretty well done for the night. It's getting kind of late, so be very cool. I'm glad the CB's actually in it now. I wasn't planning on actually mounting it in the car tonight, so cool, very cool. Actually matches quite well too. I think it was made to go in this car. That's pretty funny actually. Well, I just had to. The CB's mounted. I got to actually sit in the car and do the whole thing, and well, wouldn't you know it, I think that mic would look pretty good right there. I mean, I could just do that and not drill any holes in the dash too, but I went through the trouble of saving the thinger, so I don't know. We'll see. It's not like there's anything really strong behind there, so the other option is go around that way. That doesn't really look as nice. You know, that looks pretty good. That'll block my AC vent there. That's plastic there. I could screw it to that. Trying to do two things at once here, sorry. The only reason why I say not to right here is because this is that foamy stuff and that screws won't hold into that, but the gauge bezel here is plastic, so it'll at least screw tight into that. That looks all right, you know. Maybe I'll do that. Get the old mount up here. You know. I don't necessarily hate that. I mean, it'll still block that vent. That kind of sucks. But we don't know for sure if we're even going to have an AC or not. So I can always do this later too, I suppose. It's not a need to do thing right away, but I do like that somewhere over here. Oh, those go. Yeah. That one moves that way too, so I can, I think I'll be fine. Put it right in the middle. I don't know. Just playing around. It's one of the goals I've had with this car since I bought it was putting the old CB in it, so kind of got to sit and think about it. But like I said, it's getting kind of late, and I did a couple other projects tonight, so that was just the icing on the tea or the cream or whatever, the idiom or whatever the hell, the words, things. This is kind of like the end of the night project I had, so cool. I'm glad that's in. Well, it is another night on the Malibu here. Last finished up putting the CB up under the dash there, and I just got the face or whatever you want to call it. I got that off now, and I got the lower dash piece off so I could start running the wires up through there to hide them, and these wires here so I can run them up into here and over there and whatnot. Figure out where them are going, and those are going to be into this crudely drawn schematic here. You got your 12 volt positive into the fuse that's sitting on the dash. This is like an arming switch. I don't know that I'm going to have that because I have a momentary switch. But then we go to the light, which goes right back to ground. That's the momentary clicky switch, you know. I don't know if that's technically what it's called. Who cares? Then we have our solenoid there that does things. But I got to wire that in, essentially under the dash, or in the dash, or whatever. That's going to get put in the dash face there. I'll probably put the light they give you for that on this side here. Boop. And then the switch will be on this side here. I don't know if you actually saw that or not. But I'll put the light on this side here. Boop, boop, like that. And then I'll put the switch on this side here. Boop, boop. So we'll have the switch over here, probably like right there. And then we'll have the light right here, probably more in a more visible area. I will confirm that before I actually drill some holes and stuff. But really, I just got to get this up into the dash for sure. I got to figure out how many wires I got to run through everything too. Unless I can rob power out of that. Might be able to. I don't know for sure yet. I got to figure out how to put a battery in this thing so I can start checking the stuff. But I might be able to steal power out of there for that solenoid. We'll see. I don't know for sure, like I said. Maybe we'll go with that plan. I don't know for sure. But basically this is off to start hiding some wires. Like the CB wire here will go up, bloop, bloop, up. And then it will probably come through here, through the hole there. Then it'll come back down and that can go in. Once I do the battery thing, I'll figure out what the power situation is for this. And I can wire up the, I don't know where it went, there, the plug for the CB. And then I can hide them wires up in there. Like I said, the big one, once I have all this stuff off, is getting this stuff run up in there and whatnot. I went ahead and run them wires up. Hit them in the dash back there. Ran that one through the dash. CB wire is tucked up, hidden around. That one's actually done. I tightened it into the CB. That one's done. So technically, I believe I could put this guy back on if I wanted to. I'm going to make sure that I get everything else done first. But yeah, the wire, back to my schematic here. That wire on the ground there is this wire right here. Well, technically it's both of these, but it is this one. So that goes up to the button there. And I'm just going to keep the grounds together, keep the positives together, whatnot. But yeah, that's this one right here. So we will see. I'm glad technically I could put this guy back on too. The old kick panel, it goes on the bottom there, and of course I got to do like I did on the other side and take the door sill off, because the door sill actually goes over the top of these. But I'm going to wait to put that on till I know everything works, in case I got to backtrack. Plus I got to find a wiring hole through the firewall here, or make one. It's kind of seeming like a better idea for the PA wiring. Like I say, I think that's going to go right here. Not as crucial, but if I'm slinging wires, I might as well run the wires for this guy as well. Like I say, that's going to probably go right about here somewhere. Something like that, you know. I don't know. I don't know how that's supposed to technically mount, but that's kind of the plan there, at least. But yeah, I just gotta find a hole for that to run through. Ideally not have 3 miles of wiring. There is the latest and greatest plan of mine. Hopefully it plays out. As you can see, I got the old CB on. I don't really know exactly how it works, but I also don't have the mic plugged in, obviously, and I don't have the PA plugged in. That's what this does there when it says PA. Some of the little crystal displays in there are dying, but she's an old CB, so. But it works. That's cool. Suppose I should show you guys what I did here. Up in the dash, there's a mount or whatever coming out of it. Actually, it's way up in there. And the dash is grounded to the chassis, so I just made a wire to bolt that to it, and then rod power out of the fuse block for the power to it. Cool. I got a working CB now. Dang it, this thing never worked. It didn't actually finish up everything. In all reality, though, dash bezel's back in with some little fun bits there. Right there and right there. Got all this put back together. I actually ended up having the glove boxes originally put together wrong, so I've actually fixed it and it works properly now. CB's got a mounted mic. Just got to finish up the wiring there for the solenoid activated brakes, and that will be able to put that all back together, plus that side panel there. Alrighty, well, we are back up under the dash here. This should hopefully be the last time for this tonight, and we'll get all this put back together when we're done. But these three wires here, I have to connect in various places under here, along with the fuse. It's got to get connected into there, as well as these wires. So once I connect all these together, we will have this wrapped up here. This is all wrapped around the brake. Oh, that's not the brake pedal. Duh. Anyways, we have our schematic here. Like I said, we're going to ignore this. But the orange wire here has to go to these wires here, one of these two. The other one of these two has to go to ground, which I found another one of these ground pedestals, like the one on the other side that we did just for the CB. I mean, that's not necessarily what it is, but it's what it's going to be, because it's easy. I just have to connect the brown wire to another wire to meet over here, and then to one of these guys, and we'll make that our ground. Then that is done. And then the yellow wire I have to connect to the other half of this. And then the orange wire coming out of the dash here, I have to connect to the other one of these. So we'll see how I can figure out how to film this for you guys. I'll just throw it up on the time lapse here, and I'm just going to start hammering out stuff here. Oh, it's finally broke off. Start hammering stuff out here and see what I can do about getting it done here tonight. Everything is terminated. I gotta button everything up yet. Should see if it works though. Get that stuff there. Power to the car. You guys can hear the door thing going off and the other thing. So, theoretically, I should be able to flip this switch. This light should come on, and my friend back there should click. And it did. So, we'll do this. Push the brakes. Flip the switch. Release the brakes. And theoretically, must not have been pushing the brakes hard enough. Let's try that again. There, now we got something. Just wasn't pushing the brakes hard enough. But back tires are nice and tight. So, if it wasn't evident enough, if I didn't mention it before or you didn't catch it, this is a line lock system. And my God, am I glad it works. Turn the switch off, wheel spins nice and free again. But, I'm sure you're wondering, well, a line lock system is supposed to lock the front wheels. You're right. But for what we're going with here, you think about it, line lock, you push the brake and it locks the front wheels once you flip the switch. Theoretically, it should do the same thing if you flip the switch, then you're shutting off pressure to the rear. Theoretically, that's what I did here. So basically I have an automatic brake shut off on the dash for the rear brakes. That's what I'm going with. I'm glad it works. I'll bring you back in here in a second when I wrap this up. Oh, I'm just glad there's not a ball of wiring there, not wires hanging out of the car. Oh, I'm just tickled that it works. We'll get this wrapped up here shortly. And, yeah. Alrighty, let's get you guys in here for a grand reveal. Driver's door is shut. Oh, check engine light come back on. Couldn't really imagine why. Got the clock ticking away there. Horns honking. Oh, those are the vents. You know, power windows. They're unhappy about life, but whatever. Dome light working. The courtesy light was working. And like I say, the solenoid activated brakes, the line lock is working there. And the old CB radio. I'm sure there's no reception in the garage here. That's what we're going to go with for now. Radio. Can't play too much of that. Get an old copyright strike. But the interior is as complete as I'm going to get it for the moment in the Malibu here. Like I say, the headliner is something to be desired there, but I am excited. That's pretty much it for inside the car here. like I say, I got the old glove box fixed so you don't... Ooh, look at that. I forgot I put a blue light in there. Because I don't have any of the other light bulbs that are not colored, so... But I don't have to have a key to open that anymore, so that's a big bonus. Everything, I believe, electronically works in this car. So, I don't know about the defroster, but... You know, who the hell cares about defrost? I don't think I'll ever drive this car in the winter where it'll matter, but... I am thoroughly glad to have all this done in here. Got it all wrapped up. Got that side kicker panel in there. Over here. It's been a long time coming, but everything is back together in the car here. I even glued the old shifter knob back on because that was falling off. Now if we could just get it to do this, fire up that way, that'd be something neat. Maybe in another little side quest we'll pull the... Oh, that's an issue now. Well, maybe a little bit sooner we'll take the door panels off because now I have to fix this window because apparently it doesn't want to window anymore. But like you can see how that one's just painfully slow. Maybe we'll put motors in. I don't really know. And there it's up. But yeah, this one is apparently an issue now. I'm just going to leave that there. But in the near future, we'll take the door panels off and lube all that up so the windows will roll down nice and neat like. Sure, it'd be nice to get these vent windows working back here. But I'm not too worried about them. But anyways, if you enjoyed this little nonchalant kind of whatever you want to call it video, I surely do appreciate you hitting the like button and subscribing if you like it, and you know, share it if you so choose. But hopefully we'll be getting into some more exciting stuff with the Malibu here shortly. Got a couple snowmobile events and whatnot coming up here, so got to get the machines ready for that. But we'll be getting back to the Malibu, and when I say getting back to it, ideally it's the motor. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Check in on the next one. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy. Have yourself a Merry Christmas. I know that's coming up. And yeah, thank you.